Okay, so here we have 12.4 box and whisker plots, and we're going to start with some definitions. So definitions, we have quartiles are values that divide a data set into 4 equal parts. The median, which is called the second quartile, Q2, separate the data into upper and lower halves. And here's just basically how you could separate your data. So you have your minimum and your maximum. Right in the middle, you're going to have your median. And then in order to find Q3, that would just be the median of these that are left in here, which would be 21. And then over here would be the medians on the other side, which would be 5. And don't forget the median is the right in the middle, that value. And then quartile range is just subtracting Q3 minus Q1, so you're going to want to write that in your notes. Alright, so you have example number 1 here. What are the minimum, first quartile, medium, third quartile, and maximum of the data set? So we're going to say Q1 and Q3, and we have the data 125, 80, 140, 135, 126, 140, 350, and 75. So first thing, we're going to want to arrange this as high or low to high. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lowest number, which is 75, and rewrite it. Then the next lowest would be 80. Then the next lowest would be 125. After that is 126. Then 135. Then 140. Then 140 again, and lastly 350. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to find the median of this. So remember, the median is the middle. So I'll go here, 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 here. Okay, so here's the middle, are these two values. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these up together and then divide that by 2. Okay, so when I add those together, I get 135.5. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all these markings here. Okay, so my middle was 130.5, and then that would be my Q2. Okay, then to find Q1, you're going to look at the rest of these over here on this side and find the median on that side. So that would be, these two would be the middle. So you would add them up and divide them by 2. So your Q1 is 102.5. Then you're going to do the same thing over here to find your Q3. The middle is that, add them up and divide it by 2. You're going to get 140. Now they also ask you for the minimum and the maximum. So the minimum is 75 and the max is 350. Alright, so for the next examples, we're going to go ahead and put all this data together and make it the box and whisker plot. Okay, so here we have what it would look like. We have your box here, and then in the box you have Q1, Q2, and Q3, and then at the ends we have our minimums and our maximums. And so you want to write this down on your notes and label it, and then on the top we're going to have a number line. Okay, so here's example number 2. it says the table shows the amount of crops harvested in the United States for a certain period. What box and whisker plots represents the data? So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create our data and put it on a number line. So you're going to want to find the smallest. So the smallest number here is 303. Then your next smallest number is 307. Then your next smallest number is 311. And then your next smallest number is 314. And you have that 312 before that. Okay, so I don't have a 313, so 314 comes up next, and we have to write that down 3 times because there's 3 of them. Then we have 315, and then we have 316 twice. And then we have finally 321. So we're going to have to find, in order to make our box and whisker plot, we're going to need to find minimum, max, Q1, Q2, and Q3. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the minimum and the maximum. So there's my minimum and my maximum. And then I'm going to go ahead and find the median of the whole entire set. So that's going to be, if I count right, so 1, 1. So the middle of it is this number right here. So this would be our Q2. And I'm going to go ahead and erase all these marks now. Okay, so now I have to find Q1 and Q2. So Q1 is the median of this data set right here. So that would be the middle. Okay, that's Q1. And then over here on this side, Q2 is the middle of this data set. So that would be, Q3. So there I have all my values. So I could go ahead and make the box. Alright, and then I'm going to take a different color and just I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I label everything down here just in case it's hard to see. So minimum is 303, max was 321, Q1 was 311, Q2 was 314, and then Q3 was 316. Alright, so that pretty much covers it. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and email me, and it would be a good idea to watch these again if you have any, or if you're struggling with your homework.